Wonderful. Great evening, great evening. This is the dynamic, daring, one of a kind Diva Denise Silas. Welcome to Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I'm very excited to have you guys on with us on tonight. For those of you who may need to do with us, what we do is just try to, at the beginning, introduce you to who Empowered by DS is before we take you into our conversation with our guest on today. So I'm very excited about our series we have been doing this month. So let me get right in here. But they say take care of some housekeeping first. Awesome. So who is Empowered by DS? I am blessed to be able to work with my two daughters. Our whole mission in Empowered by DS is to help women to be the best version of themselves in the current season of their lives. And we do this in various ways. We specialize in helping women that's 40 and over to reawaken their ambition, and doing that through experiences that help build community. So things like this, Let's Talk About It Tuesday. We have quarterly events from workshops to help women to build on their personal and professional skills. We're all about taking conversation and creating community with our Divas Dinner and Dialogue as well. And then at the end of the year, we have a variety of things that we do to give back, to celebrate, to honor different things as well. So it's all about us taking experiences and building that space for women to feel safe to have those conversations. We do have a membership-based tribe, and our tribe is all about having a place for women to connect with like-minded women to be able to build. And we have 4 different levels, and just depending on where you are in life may depend on how you want to engage. So we have some events that are coming up, and you do not have to be a member to participate. So it's open to the public. We encourage you to come check us out. Our next one is June 13th. And that's so it's called Diva Dinner and Dialogue because we break bread together, we have conversations together, and it creates a bonding of those conversations that women don't always have. And I'm known to ask the tough questions. And it's great to just have a variety of women in the room to discuss those questions that can make a difference for them. So the number that you got a text from, if you just shoot back DDD one all together, it'll give you the details on how you can get registered and join us next month. Also, this is what I'm super duper excited about. We have had for the last year and this year, we did a Escape to Empower Me is what my retreats are called. And it's just to snatch women away, to give them our opportunity to connect with women. So we did it just day away trips. First, we did it in Nashville. This year, we did it in Birmingham. And next year, all of that was to get us ready for our cruise that we're having in 2027. So I do encourage you to find out, come hang out with us. We have a great time. You do not have to know anybody in the tribe. We had a mixture of women that came last time, and you would not have known from our pictures. So it's all about creating connections with women. The great thing about it is over the next few months, we're going to have virtual meetups. So you're going to meet some of these women prior to the cruise. So grab your family, grab your friends, and come on, or come by yourself. But you do not want to not be on the water with us next year. So come and join us. So to follow all the things that we do, to learn more about what we do, you can check out our website, Empowered by DS, as well. You can follow us on all platforms as well to learn more about the things that we do. And then I ask you this, even if you aren't able to come to any things you see, please share what we're doing, because there's a lot of women that are out there just in need of connection, to be in an environment where people encourage. In our tribe, we we don't compete. So they need to be in that space. So I encourage you, if you can just share it. It don't cost you nothing to share. It don't cost you nothing to share. So I just encourage you to help us spread the word, to provide that environment for women who may be in need of looking for some healthy spaces to be in. So, which leads me to why we are here today, you guys. I'm super duper excited for the women who have said yes. This is our 3rd week of our series, and I'm excited to be able to continue this series. So it is all about our I'm a Survivor series, Beyond the Diagnosis, a journey of hope, healing, and empowerment. I am Denise Silas, your host for the month. And in the month of May, we chose to do this in honor of National Women's Health Month. So we're presenting this series. This series was created to give women a safe and empowering space to share their stories, not just about illness, but about resilience, faith, perseverance, healing, and rediscovering who they are beyond one of the most challenging seasons of their lives. Too often, women silently carry the emotional, mental, and physical weight of health battles while still trying to show up for everyone else. Tonight, we want women to know you are not alone, your story matters, your struggle does not cancel your strength. Throughout this month, we will hear from incredible women who have faced diagnoses that changed their lives but did not define their destiny. Women who have navigated fear, uncertainty, treatments, recovery, setbacks, support system, emotional healing, and the courage to keep going. These conversations are not just about surviving physically, they are about learning how to live fully again. So whether you are here as a survivor, a caregiver, supporting someone you love, or simply joining us to learn and be encouraged, thank you for being here and being a part of this community. So I am excited to introduce you to our guest for this evening, Dr. Jackie Nickson. And let me grab it again. Awesome. So Dr. Jackie Nickson has profoundly impacted countless lives through compassion, leadership, and dedicated service. As an occupational therapist, licensed nursing home administrator, mortician, entrepreneur, and breast cancer survivor, she inspires and empowers others with purpose, resilience, and heartfelt commitment. A native of Morgan City, Mississippi, Dr. Nickson is the daughter of Dorothy Nickson and the late Henry Bionic Man Nickson Sr., and the proud middle child of 6 siblings. Raised with strong values rooted in faith, perseverance, and service, she developed a lifelong compassion for helping others overcome challenges and recognize their full potential. Dr. Nickson is the founder of Nickson Enterprises, owner of OccuHealth Therapy Services, and co-founder of Bionic Trucking, reflecting her dedication to both healthcare excellence and entrepreneurship. With more than 2 decades of experience in healthcare and rehabilitation leadership, she has devoted her career to improving lives and advocating for compassionate, high-quality care. Her education and achievements include a doctorate in occupational therapy from Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions, a master's degree from Belmont University, and additional degrees from Hines Community College, Holmes Community College, and Southwest Tennessee Community College. She is also a proud graduate of LaFleur County High School, class of 1994. Dr. Nickson is also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and a charter member of DeSoto County Alumni Chapter, where she continues to lead and serve through impactful community initiatives and mentorship. In her spare time, does she have any? Dr. Nickson enjoys cooking, dancing, riding motorcycles and ATVs, attending San Francisco 49ers football games, and spending time with family, especially being a tea mom to her nieces and nephews. Guided by faith and purpose, Dr. Nickson firmly believes that quitting is never an option. Anchored by the encouragement of Matthew 6:33, she inspires others to trust God, work diligently, and walk confidently in their purpose, knowing that through perseverance, faith, and service, they can achieve their dreams while making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. So let's welcome her to the stage. Let me grab her right here. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Let me join you on the stage. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for your yes. I always tell people one of the things about doing this, Let's Talk About It Tuesday, it can't happen unless people say yes, right? Because I'm not here just talking to people. It's all about giving my community the opportunity to meet other women, to hear other women's stories, and not just hear my voice. So thank you for your partnership, really, in your yes and helping me to empower women to be the best version of yourself. So Welcome, Dr. Nickson. So
Hello, hello.
I appreciate you. I think I was saying before we started recording that you're saying this is your first time actually sharing your journey. So that's another big thank you because that first time, right? Just that first time of getting started. So, well, let's jump right in. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Awesome. So, our very first question to you is, can you share your diagnosis story and what life looked like before your health journey began? And, share your emotions with that as well.
Okay. All right. Let me start from the beginning. It might be a little lengthy, but let me start because I typically try to keep up with dates and days when things happen in my life. Before my diagnosis, life was busy. It was fulfilling. I was balancing multiple roles as a healthcare professional, an entrepreneur, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a caregiver to so many people around me, especially in my health, in my profession. I love to travel, dance, cook, as you said, ride motorcycles, ATVs, spend time with my family, all that. And so on a Thursday, it was November 21st, 2019. I um I was at work and I experienced like a sharp pain in my left breast nipple. But it was more, I just like scratched, rubbed it, and kept on working, finishing my day. So on that Sunday morning, getting ready for, I noticed that I had a crustiness and a white, it almost put me in the like mashed potatoes, like in your shirt or while you're eating or something like that. And so as I started to try to flake it, I, I felt something hard. And I was like, oh, and it wasn't a knot. It was flat and maybe half of the size or the width of my index finger. And so I just knew something wasn't right. And I really looked at my nipple and I can see like a small dark discoloration under the bottom of it, the left nipple area. And then I thought about it. I said, well, oh Lord. I said, I missed my yearly mammogram. I had been getting mammograms for 10 years straight. And so my yearly mammogram actually was scheduled for April of 2019. I ended up missing my mammogram because I was helping my husband at the time care for his mother in another state. And so that Monday morning, I reached out to the not breast cancer, the breast center in Memphis where I would get my annual mammograms, to try to schedule an appointment to come in. And so when I talked to the nurse, she asked me questions and then she asked me what symptoms I was having. So I explained to her what I was having. And she said, well, okay, we got to stop. She said, you don't qualify for a traditional type mammogram. You need a diagnostic mammogram. And I said, okay. She said, well, you would have to see your primary care and it had to be referred in. And I said, okay. I got off the phone with them, called my PCP. So my PCP was able to get me in. That was on a Monday. I was able to come in that Wednesday and get the referral. But the thing was, I had just started another job October, and my insurance from the previous job was going to end like the end of November, and my new insurance wasn't going to go into effect until of January of the new year. So at that time, my PCP or his office staff had made the decision that they were going to hold my referral until my new insurance kicked in at the beginning of the year. And so I was like, no, I said, because something's going on with my body. I'm like, I need to find out now. And I was like, and they was like, well, it's expensive if you get the and all that. I was like, well, let me deal with that bill. I just need to get checked out. And so the referral actually sat on my PCP desk for about 2 weeks. So I reached out to my sister, that's a social worker slash case manager at a hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. I told her about everything that was going on and what they were saying as far as my insurance and things like that. And so she suggested that I go to the office myself after me calling them several times, trying to get them to just send the referral over. They would
Wow.
not do it. They would not do it. So I went into the office and got the referral in my hand. And I actually faxed a copy to my sister. And she said, well, we're going to see if we can get you an appointment with the breast physician that she and our mom attends in Jackson, Mississippi. So she actually walked the referral over to their office that same day. And so they were able to schedule me an appointment because it was during the holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything like that. So my appointment was scheduled for January 16th, 2020. Yes.
Wow.
During that time, I celebrated Thanksgiving. Then my birthday is in December. And so that year I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a trip to Vegas for my birthday weekend. So I got to Vegas, made it there that Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, laying in bed. I was awakened because I felt something moving underneath my skin.
Wow.
Something was moving from my left breast and it traveled to my left armpit and stopped. And I was like, oh God. I was like, I know I got cancer. It just hit me. I was like, okay, it has moved to one of my lymph nodes. That's what I said. And so I got up that morning, took a shower. I was checking on my armpit and I could feel just a little knot. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay positive, stay positive. So got back home and ended up January 16th came. I made it to my appointment, drove down to Jackson, Mississippi. Made it to the breast physician, and as me and my sister, the social worker, we were sitting in waiting on him to come in. And when he came in, he had looked at my medical record that had been, faxed over to him. And lo and behold, I say I got a blow that day because the physician, he was actually a breast surgeon. And so, woo, I got upset. Lord knows, I just started crying because he was like, a surgeon and you haven't even been diagnosed, nothing. And I was like, I was just distraught, crying. And so Dr. Pfizer was like, no, don't you start crying. He said, if you drove way from Nesbitt, Mississippi to come see me, he said, I'm going to take care of you. And
Mm.
so he was like, hold on, let me get on the phone and make a phone call. So he got on the phone and called the breast center that was next door to the hospital.
Mind frozen. Oh, Lord.
My sister and family breast center, and they did the mammogram, the traditional mammogram, and the traditional mammogram did come back showing the area on the left breast. So they did the diagnostic mammogram, and it did show something deeper. So they called Dr. Pfizer back with those results, and then he said, "Okay, let's do a biopsy." So still there that same day, they did the biopsy. All of this
Wow.
in a matter of an hour. And so at that time, I'm, hearing all this and getting these results back immediately, I lose it in the waiting area. And my sisters was there, and I remember
That's okay.
two little I say little elderly women, they were there. They was like, don't you start that crying. It was like, you keep it together, keep it together. So they were consoling me and everything. And so I made it home that night, drove back up from
Mm.
Jackson. I was I was just devastated, distraught, because I knew something had been going on in my body. And I just wanted to really find out, what it was.
Mhm.
And so that led me to getting it together. So that was January 16th. That was a Thursday. So on January 20th, 2020, it was MLK holiday. And I remember I was at work and Dr. Pfizer, he personally called me from his phone, from his personal cell phone. And he was like, "Are you sitting down?" And I was like, "No, sir." I said, "You could just tell me the results of the biopsy and everything." And so he said, "Yes, it is cancer." And that and everything off, for to get the staging and all of that. And so he said, "Well, you get home and you talk to your family." And he said, "You all call me tonight on my personal phone, and we're going to have a conference call to go ahead and start you a treatment plan."
Mm.
And so I got home. I gave all of my family members the conference call number and everything. And so we were on the phone with Dr. Pfizer, I know that night, at least about 2 hours, working out a treatment plan for me to start. So immediately I went in to get my Porticare placed, like that was in February, the beginning of February, and I received my first chemo treatment towards the end of February. So that's how that moment definitely changed my life forever.
Started. Wow. And one thing in your story here, and I hope everybody hears, you have to be an advocate for yourself. Like
Yeah.
you have to fight for yourself. If you know something is happening in your body, and I can't believe that they were holding on to your referral, delaying that process
Yes.
of you finding out. But we have to be advocates and understand that, don't let insurance, and I know it's very probably hard to say, don't let insurance dictate it because you have to do what you have to do. But it's good that you were able to just take back control of your situation.
Yeah.
Um, well, thank you for sharing that because I know walking that road cannot be
No.
easy to relive that. So I do appreciate you saying that. What has been some of your biggest physical, emotional, or mental challenges during your journey?
Um, well, my initial, I guess, emotional response, of course, it was overwhelming, just waiting on those results from all three of the tests. I was crying, I was distraught, anxiety, anxious, just emotionally exhausted. Um, One of the hardest things I could say was just processing how quickly my life changed. It felt like in an instant, I went from being a caregiver, you know, a healthcare professional helping others to becoming the patient.
Mm.
And that definitely was an emotional shift for me.
And being as strong as I'm sure you were to be able to, carry all of those loads, right? Always the one.
Mhm.
How did you, um, how did you allow yourself to adjust to that? How did you, because sometimes it's the heart of letting go of the, I don't say strength in this place, but being the one in control, right? How do you think you process that to be able to now ask for help, now be the one to be helped?
Well, it's still an ongoing it's still an ongoing process of battle for me. Just even trying to be vulnerable or learning how to be vulnerable, just opening myself up to just even asking for help
Mm-hmm.
or allowing people to help me. And my sisters may even say, "You need to just start living your soft girl life." Or I was like, "Okay, to try." So,
That look like?
right.
Wow. Um, did you ever feel during your process isolated, misunderstood, or even alone at times?
um, yes, definitely. especially going through the treatments, because I had like 18 rounds of chemotherapy, 33 rounds of daily radiation. And then with the double, I elected to have a double mastectomy. So sometimes I would come home, after treatment, and I'll just go in my room. I just wanted to be in the dark, just
Mhm.
quiet. I was fine because most times, especially after my chemo treatments, I wouldn't feel the side effects for maybe at least 2 days.
Mhm.
And when I guess when the medicine really got in my system good, I would just sleep. I would just sleep. And so I would just say I felt just maybe some emotionally alone because I didn't want to be a bother to people. And
Yeah.
the other thing that happened to me during that time, I received my breast cancer diagnosis was the same time COVID hit.
Mm.
So I was definitely that fear of the unknown as far as dealing with COVID because my first chemotherapy treatment, my entire family was able to be there with me that day. And 3 weeks later, I was in there by myself for the rest of the journey. No one was allowed to come in. So
Mm.
definitely just fear, the unknown.
Right. Right. That had to be challenging. It's
Yeah.
already something that then them not to be able to be there. But and I know that they wanted to, right, but just could not
Right.
because of COVID. Wow. I didn't realize that you were your journey was through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your journey was through
Mm-hmm.
COVID. So that added additional situations
Yes.
to it
Yes.
as well. Wow. Um, let's you started talking a little bit about how did support look like with the COVID situation. How did you what type of support were you able to get? I'm sure there's people who wanted to do more but just couldn't because of COVID. So what does your support look like?
Definitely my family was there. Just taking extra precautions and them reminding me like, Jackie, your immune system is compromised. You can't be
Mm.
outside, no mask, or let somebody else go to Walmart for you, do something, that type of thing. But like I said, my family, my nieces, my nephews, actually one of my nephews, he pretty much moved in with me and lived upstairs a little while,
Okay.
for the help his TT out.
Oh.
And so I had my sorority sisters. They checked on me, even, taking me to appointments or treatments, um, bought groceries, cooked for me. I had even coworkers that when they got the word that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and these were coworkers that I met when I first moved to the area in 2001.
Hmm.
They reached out, cooked meals. You need me to come. Then they was like, no, we can't come in the house, because of the COVID and my immune system being compromised at the time.
Hmm.
So I had a very good support system. My entire medical team from Jackson, Mississippi to South Haven to Memphis, everyone was great. Once we, got to know each other, everything was awesome.
Awesome, awesome. Was there any way that you wish you had been supported that that you didn't receive the support? And it's not that they just didn't know that you needed in that way.
Um, no, looking back, because when I say I really learned how to be still
Hmm.
and just be vulnerable and let someone help me or take care of me for a chance. So I definitely received tremendous support.
So let me ask the question that a different way. So having people on here, I know one of the things that I always struggle of knowing how to help somebody. We often ask the question, "Let me know if you need anything." Like to me, that's
Hmm.
the craziest question. Like that's the dumbest question because a
Yes.
lot of people um, will they need help and they may not even know. They just
Hmm.
so how help us to be able to somebody in a situation like that that just almost, I guess, need everything. How do you, even if they don't call to ask you, what would be the easiest ways to support um, someone?
That's what I don't care for that statement is either, let me know if you need something because we hear that a lot in the funeral industry as well. So I would tell a family member or friend, don't ask them that or don't mention that. You know what they're going through. Just drop off some food one day, drop off some water, just some of I say the
Basically,
common necessity or basic necessity that you think someone may need during that time. Even if you think they have the world, just do that
gotcha.
instead of waiting on them to ask you or
Yeah, yeah. I know I'm
that.
very guilty. And put in the chat, is it just me? Is it just me feeling this way? I was like, I never know what to do. I just never know what to do. And I've heard people say, well, I don't want to bombard them, or, I'd rather give you something you don't need and you throw it away. At least I did just what I thought I could do. So I'm gonna
Right,
do better. I'm gonna do better.
right.
So that's the other part of this, while we're having these conversations, to help teach us ways that we can be there more for other people, just through walking through somebody's journey as well. So we're going to pause right here. What I want to do is I'm going to bring up your photos,
Oh
um,
gosh.
and we're going to see this as one of our breaking points. And then this may be where individuals who did not get a chance to listen, they can see our YouTube channel. The whole interview would be on there to listen to the rest of this interview. So bring it up. There we go. So tell us about these photos.
The first photo is the photo of me and my family. My mom is in the front. I have twin sisters in the front, and my younger sister is to the backside, and my two brothers. So definitely my family, my everything. Um, Support. They hold me accountable, or just making sure everything is taken care of. We're strong, knit, loving, always willing to help anyone type of family.
Awesome. Awesome. And do you have any siblings in the area, or everybody like towards Jackson?
I have one. My youngest brother lives in Olive Branch.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. If you could see the red um, medicine hanging on the IV pole, that is the infamous red devil. And it has that name. It's a chemotherapy drug. That was the first chemotherapy medication I received. And it's known as the name Red Devil because of its color. And once it actually works its way through your system, just even when you urinate or whatever, it comes out red.
Mm.
But it's also known to have some strong side effects. I mean, very powerful. I mean, that was my first experience because I was actually in funeral service school when I was diagnosed as well. And I remember I had my treatment that Tuesday, and they was like, "Well, you're not going to feel it till probably Friday." By that Wednesday, I was taking the test in class, and I could not finish it. I mean, all at once, like just fatigue, like I need to sleep. I had to get somebody to drive me home from school.
Wow.
I just needed to rest. And the My Sister's Battle is Mine, that was, I guess, my theme and motivation during that time that my sisters and them had created for me.
Aw.
Um, they had shirts made, masks at the time, and even my sorority sisters, I hate to say behind my back, they ended up doing or working with my sister and family members, even family from out of town, from Alabama, Illinois, everywhere. They did a surprise. We were doing like drive through or drive-bys like during the COVID time. So they did a drive-by by my house during the neighborhood during that time, and people had their little masks and signs and shirts on with the "My Sister's Battle is My Battle." So that was a very emotional and loving and rewarding time for me there. And the survivor tattoo, during this time, I got this tattoo after I completed all of my treatment sessions. This was my first trip post COVID and post cancer and post divorce and everything during that time. I had took a trip, me and some friends, to Belize, and I was like, I'm gonna get me a tattoo while I'm here. And so that's what I decided to get, a survivor tattoo.
Okay.
And the last picture is me now, just growing, still thriving, and living and enjoying life and appreciating every moment I can.
Awesome. Awesome. And just a little story journey. And I always think it's important to kind of tell why you chose these one in particular. So I appreciate sharing that with us. So let's go back to our questions. Um, so was there a specific moment when you realized you were stronger than you thought?
Ooh. Um, yes, I would say one of the most defining moments for me doing or in my journey was when I realized that I had to decide to fight for my life or fight for my marriage.
Hmm.
So the details around that situation is deeply personal, and
Right.
we'll have to have a much deeper conversational topic on that later.
Yeah.
um, that experience, it was definitely heartbreaking, emotionally devastating for me. But also looking back at my life now and during that time, that moment, I realized just how strong I was.
Mhm.
Um, I discovered a level of resilience, my faith, and just the inner strength that I really didn't know I possessed during that time, because I was married, and just my husband at the time, he just decided he didn't want to be married anymore. So
Oh.
I was like, I just really gotta focus on me.
Mhm.
And I prayed, Lord knows, I prayed just for God to heal my body, remove the cancer, remove anyone that was not for me, good for me during that time, at that time. And I thank God he answered all my prayers.
Yes, yes, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Um, how did your faith, your mindset, or support system impact your healing or your survival where you stand now?
Um, my faith and mindset and support system pretty much played a tremendous role in both my healing and survival. There were moments in my journey where I just felt, afraid, overwhelmed, exhausted, emotionally drained, but my faith really kept me grounded. Um, Also, my support system, it really became the foundation that helped me continue to move forward. And they reminded me, Jackie, you know what they say, you come from good stock. You got to keep fighting. You
Mhm.
you got to fight. Don't give up.
Mhm.
And just learning to let control go. And like, Jackie, you can't control it. Just let it go. I just had to release a lot of things and just let it go.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, we're naturally strong, I'm sure that that has to be a humbling experience of just being able to really understand what really matters. Did you have
Right.
those moments like what
Yes.
really matters?
Yes. Yes. Definitely. And I had to be reminded, especially by my big sisters. I have twin sisters. And they was like, Jackie, you did. I was like, okay. I'm like, y'all know me. I'm not. Then I was like, okay, I'm just forget it.
Mhm.
I let it go.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Someone asked, would you share what stage of cancer were you in? Stage when you were
I
diagnosed?
was diagnosed with stage 3 HER2 positive breast cancer. And that's pretty much an advanced stage of breast cancer where it's gone beyond the original breast tissue because it had moved to actually, thank God, one lymph node and no other organs. So they were able to remove that lymph node and the breast at the same time.
Awesome. Um, you started talking about releasing. What did you have to release when you started? Fear, pride, control, unhealthy habits, limiting beliefs. Did you have any limiting beliefs that you had to release in order for you to move forward, or anything else to stay? And I know you had already mentioned fear. Was there anything
Um,
out to you?
I guess just trusting people to do what they're gonna say or say what they, do what they say they're gonna do. Um, and just keeping my faith.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely trust was a big
Yeah.
distrust.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Big piece of it. What message would you share with women who may be currently facing a similar diagnosis or even any type of health battle?
Um, Definitely I would say listen to your body, observe your body. As we mentioned before, you sometimes have to be your own advocate or surround yourself with people that will advocate for you. Um, don't always take no for, even healthcare from us, healthcare professionals, because even though we have extensive training in certain areas, your body and you know when something is not right or something's different out of the norm. I always just, like I tell my patients when we're doing therapy, listen to your body. I can tell you to do this or that, but I always listen to your body.
Right, right. Did you ever feel ashamed or afraid to share that you were diagnosed?
Mm, no, I actually think I got to the point where I don't, or even now, even though after I had the double mastectomy and everything and my scars, and even when I was going through the reconstruction process, I I guess I felt just more comfortable showing my scars because people would be like, "Girl, you got breasts or you don't have breasts," and I was like, "You want to see my chest?" And I was just, so I don't think I felt the shame, and even when I lost my hair, some people are big on the hair, but I'm like, I cut it off. And um, I remember the day my hair started shedding, and I called my brother. I was like, "Bring your clippers." I said, "Because I'm just rubbing, and here it is." So I'm like, "Just come on, let's do it." And so he came right on over and shaved me bald, and I was I was fine with it. I was concerned because I got a big head, and I was like, "Lord, what is my head gonna look like?" And I know I'm not wearing wigs or anything like that. I'm just gonna be out there.
Mhm. It's a quick question. What advice would you give to someone who feels afraid to get tested? That's a good one.
Um, I would definitely suggest that they reach out to their medical team, or even for me, for some of the tests that I had to even get done during this process, I joined like support groups online because everything was pretty much during COVID. So
Mhm.
we had a lot of online Facebook groups, even the cancer center that that I'm still affiliated with. They had support groups and sessions and things like that, or even your church family. If you have a church member, someone that you can trust, or that one family member, to support you to get the test done. Because I even hear like from my patients, like, I don't want to know, I'd rather not know. But I try to advise them all the time.
Mhm.
I'd rather know, so you can plan and prepare and get the necessary treatment.
And
that's right for you at that time.
knowing gives you more time to address it and maybe even save your life. So you definitely do want to know. Yeah. Mary says, what would you do differently if in life now having gone through the diagnosis? Is there anything you would do differently?
Oh, yes, Lord. I even talk to my mom about it sometimes when I go home to visit, because I think it was maybe around 2010. My mom is a breast cancer survivor as well. And during the time she was diagnosed, or maybe in 2001, the time when she was diagnosed, it was also the time when Angelina Jolie had decided to do the double mastectomy to prevent, because her mom had breast cancer. And
Mm-hmm.
I had told my mom during that time, I said, well, Mama, you got cancer. I said, I'm gonna go, get my breast removed. And she was like, don't you do that, don't you do that. So I think even today I still wish I probably would have elected to just go ahead and do the double mastectomy. And that would have prevented, hopefully all of the chemo, the radiation, the side effects, and all of those different things.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Is there anything else that you want to share with us about your story?
Um, I would just like for everyone that's here this evening to let my story be uplifting, empowering, and just be an advocate, especially even for women in general and men, because breast cancer is, a thing that happens in men as well.
Mhm.
So, as said before, listen to your body, do your weekly or daily breast exams when you're in the bathroom. If you notice different, definitely let your medical doctor, PCP, nurse practitioner, whatever on your team, know what's going on or what anything you found or think you may feel. I would get that checked out.
Pay attention. Definitely pay attention to your body.
Yeah.
Definitely. Is there any other questions that you guys have for Dr. Nickson? And thank you again for sharing. I'm sure walking down that road again wasn't the easiest, but I appreciate your willingness to share with us. And of course, our prayer is that something that's said may encourage somebody or be able to help someone along their journey or be able to support somebody. Because we all know that's the one thing. We probably all know somebody who have had breast cancer, experiencing it now. Or I know one of
Mm-hmm.
my friends told me recently her daughter just got diagnosed. So being able to encourage someone because we
Yeah.
know someone who went on that journey. Any other questions? Any other questions? Was there any other thing that I want to ask? Was there any question that was on here that I didn't ask you that you wanted to share? Let me see.
Mm. She would ask it.
How did you deal with the fact that what she said, out of all your sisters, this happened to you?
Oh, I'm still dealing with that, sister. That's my sister.
Oh, okay.
um, I had to, I remember sitting in my bedroom one night while this was going through the chemo treatments. I actually started fussing at my deceased ancestors, like my great grandparents, my grandparents, just like, how could y'all let this person get with this person to create this? It was just a mess. The devil was in my head. And so I got to the point where I had to just realize, why not me? Just why not me? Out of everything I've done in my life, and just why not me?
Mm-hmm.
And being the chosen one, I'm like, hey, okay, I'm up for the fight. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. It can be tough. It can be tough. But awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys again. If we have any other, Miss Pam said thank you for sharing, Soror. Soror out of Alabama. Um, let's see if I make sure I didn't miss anything. But go get tested. Go get tested.
Yes. Yes.
Encourage. Encourage. And I know Jackie said that she had missed that particular one.
That one.
Sometimes we think, oh, it doesn't matter. That's just one. Go get tested.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I've been going every year, and I was like, Lord, the one time I missed my exam,
Right,
bam.
right, right. So, of course, lots of thank yous. So, as we get ready to close out, well, let me ask you this. I like to always ask this. A lot of times people take their pain and give it purpose. Have you created anything? Do you do the walks? Do you do anything as a result of your experience with your diagnosis that maybe that you have made um, in, your giving or your um, nonprofits or anything? Have you done anything like that as far as from your diagnosis?
Yes, I definitely participate in the majority of like the breast cancer walk, Sister Struts, um, what was her name? Susan G. Coleman,
Mm-hmm.
those type of things, and supporting, because I am with the Baptist Cancer Center, support them on like any type of donations they may need, because during my time at chemo, they had like little elderly women would come in and what is this word?
Crochet.
Knit, crochet little hats for your head, especially, once you lost your hair. And they were volunteers, so they would ask, if you want to bring some yarn or different things like that, you can donate, and they would get and make little hats to go on your head. So yeah, definitely supporting those type of organizations and everything.
Awesome. And they at least gave me some ideas like, I can think about that. And I know somebody who actually
Mm-hmm.
makes hats. I wonder if
Mm-hmm.
she just, I like to just do it. Like maybe she hasn't even
Yeah.
thought about being able to maybe donate some of those to for cancer survivors, for
Mm-hmm.
anybody battling cancer as
Yeah.
well. So thank you. I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot today. Once again, thank you. As we just got a couple last slides to share as we wrap up this session here of the Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I'm a Survivor series. Let's see. I have an empty one in the next one. So I invite you, if you know of anyone or yourself, do you need to awaken your ambition? Our tribe just may be what the doctor orders. So these are our charter members of our tribe. We would love to have you engage. If you want to learn just more about it, just text back the word tribe. Our book club that's coming up for tomorrow for our tribe members is one of our member only benefits. We're going through the book, The Mountain is You. So if you have not gotten the book, even though you may not be participating in our book club, it is a phenomenal book. So I encourage you guys to get that for yourself. Another one of the things that we do in our tribe as members only, we start off our month with what we call sacred start. So we just come together in prayer as another benefit. So for our tribe members, put June 7th on your calendar for our next upcoming events. And remember, if you're not a member, you can still participate in our Diva Dinner and Dialogue and our cruise. So make sure you text back either DDD for the Diva Dinner and Dialogue or the word escape, and we'll get that information to you. Stay connected with us. Stay connected, of course, on all our platforms. And to learn more about the tribe, do that. And this one of the things we've been focused on this year, you guys, our theme is align, become, and conquer. Just really stay in alignment with what God has for you. It's when you start to ask for alignment, be open to what He is calling you to do, where He's removing, releasing, restructuring, redirecting. So you got to be careful if you pray for alignment and just really becoming. We're all about becoming the best version of ourselves. And through that process, just asking God for the courage to step into all the things that He has called us to be, do, and have. So I invite you guys to do the same. And as we always say after our Let's Talk About It Tuesdays, we're here, now that you have been empowered. So we empowered women empower. So what she has shared with us is not just for us. Of people who can benefit from what we have to offer, you want to share, I'll have probably in the next 48 hours, we'll have this recording up on our YouTube platform, and then the other recordings are also on our Empowered by DS YouTube platform. So we are our sisters keeper, you guys. We share because we care. So we encourage you to share this, and hopefully it may even be able to encourage somebody to do the test they need and save a life. So thank you
Right.
again, Dr. Nickson, for your willingness to share. And I appreciate everybody for taking the time to get on. So have a great rest of the night. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.